Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today I'm going to talk to you about tool brands, and does the brand of the tool really matter that much when you're building a deck? Well, this is kind of a personal opinion, so please leave your comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. This is almost a war sometimes with different people and what brand they like and what brand they don't. It's very personal. So this is a personal video. I hope you guys enjoy it because I'm going to give you my 2 cents and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, so does the actual brand of the tool matter? It kind of does and it kind of doesn't. I can take any brand of any tool and I can build any deck as long as I have exactly what I need of that brand. I can build a deck out of all DeWalt. I can build it out of all Makita. I can build it out of all Milwaukee if I had the arsenal of tools I need to build that particular deck. So if you have the ability, you can use just about any brand of tool you want to create that space, okay? So let's get a little bit further in depth on that and let's talk about why we use certain brands only. Okay, so a lot of people that watch this video are gonna have an opinion. They're gonna be blue, red, yellow, green, or whatever color is made. Some people like a brand for price. Some people like a brand for quality. Some people like a brand for battery. And some people like a brand for various other reasons as well. And over the years, as I've used different tools, I've had some opinions on certain brands, and maybe they've changed what I had a problem with, like battery longevity. How long does a battery last its life cycle? Sometimes that has been a big problem for me, especially with the Makita brand. I had 10 batteries die all in 1 year, and for me that was enough, because when you're spending $100 a battery, you know, that's $1,000, $2,000 in batteries, so on and so forth. So, but that's just my personal experience with that particular brand. I've had other brands with battery failures as well. We're big using Metabo HPT right now. We've been using that brand for about 7 years, and we've had a lot of batteries fail. We've gotten some replacement batteries under warranty, and others we've purchased at various home centers and different locations, that, or maybe even online. Okay, so it really depends on your experience with that company or with that brand. So I know I'm going to get some comments about experience. Oh, I had a problem with Makita. I had a problem with DeWalt. I had a problem with Milwaukee. I've heard it all on my social media channels already. So I'm just letting you know, we have had that same experience. But so for us, the one brand we use the most is DeWalt. We have invested heavily in that battery platform. I'll get into that a little bit more in depth here in a minute, okay? Some people just like being loyal to a particular brand. So maybe you like red. Maybe red's your favorite color, and you like Milwaukee, and you're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you're not using anything else except a tool that says Milwaukee on it, and you just want everything to be all red in your trailer, the whole 9 yards. Good for you, man. All in, I'm in. I like it. You got one battery platform only, and whatever that company puts out, that's what you're using. Cool. For me, I do like a core set of tools, but if there's a specific tool that I need that that company doesn't make, I will go cross-platform or cross-brand to obtain it. I have certain tools that I really like. They're very high quality, but then they may make something else that I think is a piece of junk. So we'll get into that a little bit later, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of why and what, okay? So for starters though, we're just talking about loyalty, and some people are gonna be more loyal to their brand than others. I'm not particularly loyal until you get into the expense of the battery platform, which brings us to that. So I feel, now this is just my opinion, and you guys can comment below and let me know what you think. I think these companies sell their tools at cost so they can sell you more batteries at a profit. I think most companies are making most of their profits off the batteries than they are off any other part of their company, as far as the tool, the charger, the bits, all the accessories that you can get for the tools. I think the battery is the coveted piece of the equipment that you gotta have, and you need more than one of them. You gotta have 50 of them, man, or else you're just gonna run out of juice. A lot of contractors have gone to a cordless platform, which even is better for the tool companies because they're selling you the batteries and they're making a grip of money on those batteries. They are premium priced. Sometimes they'll put them in a multi-pack and you're thinking, man, I'm gonna score a deal, but you're still paying a lot of money for those batteries. So the battery platform, as technology gets better, for example, DeWalt, they're making a power stack battery now. They've released a 5 amp hour. I think they even have an 8 amp hour power stack now. So as technology gets better and the products get better, the price goes up, but you're getting the longevity of that quality of that brand, okay? So battery platform is the #1 reason for keeping a particular brand. I've had personally guys, I've had better luck with the DeWalt battery platform than any other platform that I've had. Now, I don't have a lot of Milwaukee tools because I've chosen to go with DeWalt. I've invested in their battery platform and a 4-bay charger and all that stuff. All my team's used to using DeWalt. They all know how to charge the batteries. They all know how to use the batteries and use the tools. So I've stuck with that platform. I'm not opposed to going all into a different battery platform, but if I bring something else into my job site, something else has to leave. So right now we have DeWalt and Metabo HPT are our tools of choice. Now, Metabo does not have a huge arsenal of tools. They have a very specific line, and there's only a couple tools I use of Metabo that I really, really like. That's their impact drivers, their triple hammers, and this baby right here. This is one of the premium chop saws on the market. This is a Metabo HPT 7 1/4 inch compound slide miter saw. We're actually using a 36 volt adapter in it, so I don't have to run a separate battery over here. We're just leaving this one plugged in to the socket. It's on a separate cut hub station with a table saw mounted to the end of it, okay? Now notice that's a DeWalt table saw. There's a reason for that. But let's get through this Metabo saw. This saw is twice as expensive as your average compound slide miter saw. This saw costs twice as much as the DeWalt saw that we have on the other side of the job site. But for finish work, there is not a better chop saw than this saw. This is one of the best cutting, most precise, most accurate finish saws I've ever used. It does not cut a 4x4 in half. It's not designed to do that. This is the saw you use when you want something to look nice and be accurate. The cool thing is, it takes a 7 1/4 inch blade, which is cheap. Even a 40 tooth blade or a 60 tooth blade on a 7 1/4 inch saw is not very expensive, and you can get really buttery, just delicious cuts with this saw. And I'm telling you what, man, every time I use it, I keep forgetting how good this saw is until I cut with it again. I'm like, man, I just love this little saw. That's why we gave it its own dedicated station, because anybody that uses this saw, after they use it, they're like, wow, that is incredible. And you're straight up it is, because it's one of the best saws I've ever used. And for light finish trim, it's $1,200, $1,300, but it's worth every penny. It even works great with one battery in it. It's just because we're getting low on our battery platform on this particular brand. Go back to your battery platform earlier in this video. I've just ran this adapter, which is great. It works great. But I'll be honest, for some reason, this power adapter doesn't spin as hard as a battery will. So if you want the highest revolutions per minute, drop a battery in this saw instead of using the adapter. Okay, now I just told you guys, different brand over here, right? This is not a cordless saw. This is a 10-inch saw. I never adapted a cordless version of a table saw except for one time. This is a plug-in 10-inch saw. I need power. I can't run a 60-foot cut and then change batteries. I don't like doing that. I used to have the 10-inch Metabo HPT table saw, and I didn't like it. The cordless feature of it, it was a 10-inch saw, which was cool, but the cordless feature of it just didn't make sense. It chewed up our batteries. I started putting on an adapter, and then the saw just didn't last in the elements. I've had a few comments, people say, I love that saw, that's my go-to, and good for you. It didn't work for me, but this 10-inch job site DeWalt saw works very well for what we need it to do. It's got good power. I can rip endless miles of whatever I need out of it. We use a coarse tooth 24 tooth blade to rip, and it's a great addition to our job site. It is brand specific as far as power. I've also heard that Makita has a really great 10-inch table saw. I just don't use it. I have this DeWalt one. This one doesn't have anything to do with a battery platform at all. It's a plug-in saw. So I'm probably never gonna adapt cordless technology into my table saw because a lot of the materials that I rip are difficult, hard materials to get through. So wet, pressure-treated hemlock doesn't really like to rip very well. So you're putting a lot of energy into, and you're bogging the saw down quite a bit when you're trying to make your rips with it. So that's why we have a corded, dedicated version of our table saw. And this one seems to do a trick. It has 24-inch ripping capabilities. It has a great fence that slides down so things can have a rail to slide on when you're past the table width. So for me, this has been a good saw and I like it. And there's no need for me to go into a different brand or a different product. I think I bought this one at Home Depot. As far as tool brands go, you know, sometimes it's just availability. Where can I obtain these tools? Am I buying them online? Am I buying them at a local home center? Or am I buying them at a specialty tool location in your local town? All those things may matter to you. Maybe you get to know somebody at a place and they can get you specific tools you like or give you a deal on a tool that's either comparably priced on the internet, or maybe you're just liking the service that person is providing you for those local tool houses. So it just depends sometimes on what's available to you in your local market. And again, as far as tool brands go, I'm also concerned about high quality, efficiency, high performance. If the tool I'm using is putting out a decent product, it makes me happy, it makes my client happy, and I'm gonna keep using that product. If I have a tool that's underperforming, it doesn't last on the job site. It usually goes back to my shop and sits in a box until I have a home project where I can get by with using that tool for that, or I get rid of it, or I throw it away, or I give it to somebody, or I sell it. If you've ever heard the term buy nice or buy twice, that's kind of what I'm getting at. We can go to Harbor Freight and buy some of our tools, but usually those tools won't last as long as if we buy a high quality, well-branded product that has a decent warranty on it, which brings me to my last thing, warranty. Some brands have a better warranty than others, and so be sure to review that if that becomes a sticking point for you. So make sure the tool, you can buy extended warranties at some of these home centers. I usually don't do that because I know that if I'm getting a year or two out of that tool, I'm probably good, and then I'll just end up with a newer model or the latest and greatest version of that tool. So there's my opinion, guys. I might get shot for this, I don't know, but hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, guys, don't forget, if you want a t-shirt, we have them for sale in the link below. And we also have a new podcast out, so don't forget to check that out as well. Some of the best deck builders in the nation have been on it, and some really great house framers as well. Like this video, and please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.